part of the college level math in the college entrance, college placement exam practice. So number 6, an apartment building contains 12 units consisting of 1 and 2 bedroom apartments. So let me call this one as 1 bedroom as X and then 2 bedroom as Y. Number of units, I mean. And then the rent for the 360 and then 450 respectively. So 360 is for the 1 bedroom and 450 for 2 bedroom. When all units are rented, the total monthly rental is this much. What is the number of 2? So basically what we're looking for is what's the value of Y? That's what we are looking for. So what are we going to do? First, we get to realize that X plus Y should be equal to 12. And in terms of total revenue, we get 360X plus 450, Y should be equal to 4950. So what I can do is I can multiply first equation by 360 and then subtract it. Or maybe I'll multiply by negative 360. And first one is negative 360x. Second one is negative 360x as well. I mean negative 360y rather. Now thirdly, what do we end up getting when you multiply 360 times 12? We get 4320. Except that it has to be negative. So when you combine them together, these two cancels away. This becomes 90. Y. And we get 630. So to find the value of Y, we're going to divide each side by 90. Then Y will be equal to 7. So which is E becomes our answer. Alright, let's look at the next question. Number 7. If the two square regions in the figure below have the respective areas indicated in the square yards, so 5 and 125, okay. So you can see that this is a whole lot bigger. In fact, you gotta multiply by 25 to get 125 from 5. Now, the question is, how many yards of fencing are needed to enclose 2 regions? So meaning both of them. Then what are we gonna do? In this case, if I call this one as x, this one will be also x, so x as well. So we get x squared is equal to 5. Hence, x equals square root of 5. How many of them do we have in the small square? We have 4 of those. So the perimeter for the small square is equal to 4 square root of 5. How about the bigger square? If I call this one as y and then y, you get to realize that y squared is equal to 125. And the y becomes square root of 125, which becomes square root of 25 and square root of 5. But you know what square root of 25 is? That's equal to 5. So we get 5 square root of 5. But in fact, how many of them do we have? We have 4 of those. So perimeter for the big one is equal to 4 times of that, which is 20 square root of 5. But when you combine all of them together, because we're fancying all of them together, we get 24 square root of 5, which is choice C becomes the answer. Alright, let's look at the next one. Now, what's the value of x? You see, logarithm is another way of looking at exponential equation. So usually when we say a to the x power is equal to, or maybe let me just use to ABC, a to the b power is equal to c. That can be translated into logarithm. You see, the meaning of the word logarithm is exponent. So in fact, if I were to say what is the logarithm, the same thing as what is the exponent. Obviously, exponent is b. So b is the exponent. In other words, b is the logarithm. Okay. Of what? When the base is what? A. So we write down small here. when the result was c. So this is how we can go back and forth. When you see I have the given value, which is log base 10 of x is equal to 3, then how am I going to write that into exponential function? Notice that 10 is the base, just like how a was the base, so we have 10. And you see how b was the exponent because b was the logarithm. Then here c would have 3 would have been logarithm, meaning 3 is the exponent. That's equal to c, which is the result. Here x. So x equals 10 to the 3 power. What's 10 to the 3 power? That's equal to 1000. Hence, choice B becomes the answer. Alrighty, let's move on to the next problem. Number 9. So if f of x is equal to 2x plus 1, g of x equals this way. Then what is f of g of x? You see, since g of x is this expression, I can put this one in place of g of x. So we get f of x minus 1 over 2. But what is the function f? Whatever you plug in, you're going to double that and then add 1 to it. So that means double what's given, and then I'm going to add 1 to that. So what do we end up getting, guys? 2 cancels away, so we have x minus 1 or plus 1. So when you combine them together, we get to realize the x by itself. So therefore, choice A would have been the answer. Kind of worked out nicely. Now, let's look at the next question. Number 10. Theta is an acute angle. Okay, sine theta equals 1/2. Then what is cosine theta? You see, we have to realize that we have to remember this table. It'll always be helpful. If you have sine, cosine, and tangent. Angle 0, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60, and 90 degrees. So sine of 0 is a 0, 1/2, square root of 2 over 2, square root of 3 over 2, and then we have 1. Cosine is the opposite, 1, square root of 3 over 2, square root of 2 over 2, 1/2, and then 0. In case of tangent, we have 0, square root of 3 over 3, 1, square root of 3, and undefined. You see, I need you guys to remember this one. This will be very, very helpful, not only in high school, but also in college as well. Now, the fact that sine of an angle is 1/2, then I see 1/2 is right over here. That means angle must be 30 degrees. So what the second part of the question is asking us to find is cosine of that theta. So what's cosine of the theta 30 degrees? Oh, that's equal to radical 3 over 2. So therefore, our answer should be radical 3 over 2. All right, so with that one, I'm going to stop here for now, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.